finally gave up on her. I 31 meters am finally done holding out hope that my wife 26F will be anything more than a cheater. We've been together since 2014 but married since 2017, which is when the cheating started. She's said that it just started out as trying to make friends, since all of her friendships have kind of fizzled out, but none of the people she talked to just stayed friends for long. Most of them were only estimating partners, very little emotion and no meetups, but a few got feelings mixed in and one in particular turned into at least a meetup that ended in at least mutual petting, and less time. This was all within 1 year, 1.5 years of our wedding date BTW. I, of course, caught her and was rightfully pissed. However, I do take some small blame as I was being a very new and very overwhelmed stay-at-home dad and so wasn't paying her the proper amount of attention and was easily agitated, which affected both our time life and communication. Things were okay for a bit but she started to talk to more guys online, which I didn't know about for a while and ended up causing another fight when I did find out. During this she admits that she thinks she might be polyamorous. I suggest counseling, both IC and MC, and she agrees. This never happens and of course is accompanied by various excuses as to why not. We continue to try to reconcile and everything goes well for a bit until her depression starts getting the better of her, which is when she starts to seek out extra validation and attention. And the cycle continues until recently. Now I have no hard evidence of any physical intimacy between her and these chat partners other than the first instance. And of course this most recent occurrence. So, Saturday our children and I went over to my parents for the day so I could help my father work on the house. While we were all gone, my WW decides she would be free and clear to get into some mischief. She comes home after work, 14 hours overnight shift, takes a nap, and then gets herself decently dolled up. Nothing crazy, just a shower, nicer clothes, light makeup, and a cute little tea on. She then grabs a few of our time toys and proceeds over to her friend's house. Now she says that all that happened was he used a vibrator and paddle on her, which isn't even all the toys she took, but I don't buy a bit of that. Either way, plans were made previously to go out to eat after the work on the house was finished and I was supposed to call her when we were getting close to being done. So I do, no answer, I wait a bit and call again, no answer, so I text. She replies 15 minutes later saying okay, I'll head that in a bit, kind of annoying but no big deal. 45 minutes later, my whole family is sitting around waiting on her and she finally sends me a text saying that she's on her way. When she finally arrives, her excuse is that her and her friends, this was her cover story, a female friend from school and her husband that she's started hanging out with recently had just started playing a round of when I texted her, and they wanted to finish it. I, sadly, sort of believe this horrible line of bullshit, until the next day when we meet up with said friend and the friend makes a comment on my WW's new eyeglasses. So now I'm suspicious and start snooping where I can once she leaves for a bit. I find several pregnancy tests, some open, and a used one. I have a vasectomy. I also notice a few of our toys missing and search our bedroom top to bottom in search of them to no avail. When she gets home I look in the car and find the toys in a food delivery bag with an address nowhere near where she said her school friend lives. I immediately confront her and she of course tries to deny it, even with damning evidence being waved in her face. I finally tell her that I'm sick of this and I'm done, the kids and I are leaving and she is now free to duck every single guy in the neighborhood if she feels so inclined. Predictably I get the all too common, "I'm so sorry, I never meant to hurt you." Or would you be willing to stay if I try therapy? And my personal favorite, I don't why I am this way, I just can't help it. But I finally said enough is enough and I'm packing up my kids and my stuff and leaving. Unfortunately, at least legally, I have to stay married to her for another 6 months. In my state you have to be separated for 6 months before you can divorce, even with evidence of cheating. But on the bright side, she doesn't currently seem to want to fight over anything like the kids or our few joint possessions. Update: for those few that think I won't end up leaving, car is packed and I'm just waiting for the kids to finish their nap. For those worried about marital assets, we are currently renting and her name is the main one on the lease. And the only other real asset we have is the car that I'm going to drive away in, so not much worry there. Redditor's reactions, story 2 after. Redditor 1, sounds like you're on the right path, but I think she should leave, not you. If the house is a marital asset, this could be legally significant later on. Redditor follow-up, listen to this advice, op. Also, when I got divorced, my attorney told me that if I left the house, I'm proving to the courts that I am capable of providing a place not only for myself, but also the house that we lived in together, increasing the chances of alimony. Redditor 2, good for you, get the divorce, go for full custody, seek child support and alimony. Hit her where she does not have any money. Eventually the DCK will get boring, and she will want a relationship, when she realizes that is all they want from her. When she comes crawling back, tell her to duck off. When the kids are 18, I will only see you at their events if they invite you, because by then they will know who you are, and what you left them for. Edit: I wanted to add, ensure you call her parents after you filed for divorce on the day she is served. Call them and thank them for allowing you into their life. And let them know you have filed for divorce, due to her cheating on you. If you know any of the guys' names, name them to them. Then do the same thing with her siblings, your family and friends. This way you control the narrative, and she can't lie about it. Go live your best life, find someone worth your time, and take care of your kids op. Redditor 3, bruh, she sounds horrible and she's so friggin' gross. Leave. Block, delete and move on. Story 2, is my wife cheating? Hello all. I'm 50 and my wife is 48. We have been married 5 years and this is our second marriage for both of us. We have a 3-year-old boy. Back in the spring I found a men's toiletry kit hidden in our bedroom. Her explanation for that was she found it in a box of her stuff that she had not gone through after we moved. She said it likely belonged to her ex-boyfriend. I am a firefighter and work shift work, so there would have been ample opportunities to cheat. She said she hid it because she thought I would be mad. She didn't ever having anyone over. I later found out that she had been having an emotional affair for a year with a friend from college. She just got back from a work conference in Texas and I put her laundry in the washer and there was a men's t-shirt in her dirty laundry that's not mine. She said she doesn't know whose it is but admitted to having a party in her room with guys, although she didn't having time with anyone. She swears nothing happened. Not sure if I believe her. Also not sure what to do. Any advice would be great. Redditor's reactions, story 3 after. Redditor 1, maybe, but I think you should give her another 47 more chances. Redditor 2, too many red flags to ignore. She is definitely lying. Better to lawyer up and hire a private investigator. Get your finances and properties in order. Redditor 3, okay. Very simple. You are a firefighter. You smell smoke? What does that mean? Exactly? Same situation here. She is a serial cheater and a big ollier. Sorry man. She will have a lie for everything. Party in hotel room with dudes but no time honest. Sure. Story 3, wife's friend said he can't wait for me to leave so she can cheat on me with him. Wife's friend said she was going to cheat on me with him, and now we aren't talking. My 27 meters wife 24F of 4 years, has an 18-year-old friend and I honestly don't care. He's her best friend and I've never had a problem with him, I just don't care to talk to him cause he's 18 and I don't get along with him. Just want to say that first. I'm deploying soon, and my wife while playing games put him on the speakers and he said he can't wait for me to leave so she can cheat on me with him, even joking to me that's unacceptable. This is not the first time one of her friends has completely overstepped boundaries and honestly it's really hurtful. We hasn't spoken since this happened and I told her simply to handle it or I was leaving. She has shut down and while I want to make sure she's okay I'm really hurt. She has issues with boundaries and I try to be patient with that, but again this is not the first time something like this has happened and the only reason something changed is because I said something. I don't want to leave but I'm honestly tired of feeling like I'm going to be cheated on. Story 4, my 25M girlfriend's 24F insecurities are making me miserable. What do I do? My girlfriend and I have been together for a bit over 2 years now, and she doesn't trust me even though I have given her no reason not to trust me. I have never been unfaithful, and I do my best to be supportive. However, almost daily she needs to ask me if I am have cheated on her. It's gotten to the extreme. The other day I shared with her a new band that I liked while in the car earlier in the day, and she needed 30 minutes to herself because of how anxious it made her thinking about how I heard of that band. I understand that I need to be supportive of her, but every time this happens I feel like I am being called a liar, and it hurts me that she doesn't trust me even though I haven't given her a reason to. These trust issues extend to other areas of our relationship. I have essentially cut close friends out of my life because she thinks that I have had crushes on my friends' girlfriends in the past, which is not true. I have also cut out time with my family by not taking as many trips back to the Midwest where I am from and instead staying on the East Coast where I live because she thinks when I go home I will cheat on her. I know these insecurities she has also harm her. She has very low self-esteem and is constantly looking to me to reassure her that she does not look ugly. Sometimes it feels like that is all we talk about, and all she cares about. I just don't know what to do. When things are going fine between us, I love being in this relationship. I also love her, so I want to be there to help her feel better about herself. But these trust issues are literally crushing my soul. Does anyone have any advice for what I should do? Story 5, I think my GF still might be cheating on me. Is my GF still cheating on me? To summarize the start, last month my GF 29F cheated on me by developing an emotional attachment to someone she met online. They have never met in person, but I found messages that were extremely provocative. Anyways, we moved on after trying to sort it out. It was my decision, which now I'm iffy about. Just recently, I've noticed she's messaging this guy on IG back and forth, and although it's been a lot and frequent, it's just friendly. She met this friend in the same online game she met the guy she cheated on me with. Anyways, I saw a message where her friend asked her if she was still talking to the guy she cheated on me with. Her response? Not much because he's busy opening up a new restaurant. Like, why is that her response? Wouldn't a regular response be no, I'm continuing things with my BF? I want to know if I am wrongly overthinking here. It kinda sounds to me like they still talk occasionally through this game, which is a red flag in itself. I believe. Yes, I love this girl and I don't want to just end it, but if I'm being stupid here, then I need to know. Also, we live together so it'll be hard to just end things. Redditor's reactions, story 6 after. Redditor 1, yes, you are being stupid and she is actively monkey branching you. Redditor 2, dude, come on. Redditor 3, get out while you can. Went through something like this during COVID. She got real into an RPG on Xbox and starting Snapchatting sexting with people she met. I confronted her and eventually moved out. Few months later we got back together, the gaslighting started like crazy, said it was all a prank. We broke up again. Over the past summer we started spending some time together and eventually she wanted to add me back on social media. I could see it only got worse for her. She's got male friends now from all over the country she's met on Facebook, Xbox. Lots of flirtatious comments, messages. I just think it's really bizarre. She has 2 young children. It will only get worse. I would just cut ties now. I know it sucks, especially if you really love the person, but she doesn't respect you. Sorry, bud. Op answer, thank you for the personal story. It probably could get worse. I appreciate that. Story 6, my 40M wife 34F has been spending a lot of time with her tennis coach. I am a pilot for a major airline, and have been based in Hong Kong for the past 5 years. I'm originally from Australia, and met my wife a local here. When I first met her, I immediately fell over heels for her and long story short, we've now been married for 8 months. A couple months ago, her BFFs convinced her to take up tennis lessons and I approved. What better way to keep fit rather than sitting at home all day? Her tennis coach is a tall New Zealand fellow in his 20s, who was once an English teacher. I really didn't think much of it, but the once-a-week tennis lessons became twice a week and now they have suddenly become daily lessons. Rather than 1-hour lessons in the beginning, they now last over 3. I asked my wife if I could join her for tennis and she told me it wouldn't be such a good idea. Any advice on how to confront her would be well appreciated. Update 22:9. Firstly, thank you all so much for the advice. It was all very supportive and mostly helpful. While plenty of you suggested I hire a pie, I opted to confront her directly instead. I asked point blank why she had been spending so much time with John, not real name, the tennis coach, and if there's something I should know about. To my surprise, rather than a denial or apology, she got into a fit and said these exact words. How dare you question what I do with my free time? You men of Australia are toxic and you are the ones that always cheat. Even my friends said Australian guy always cheat. I don't even know why I marry you, you are never home? Clearly I understand the concept of gaslighting, so I wasn't taking her bait. I made it quite clear that I know what she was doing and that I wasn't afraid of filing for divorce. She immediately stormed out of the flat and returned an hour later. To my utter surprise again, she began apologizing profusely. She admitted that she felt lonely when I was on duty and found someone to confide with. She told me she didn't want to lose me and would stop with the tennis lessons effective tomorrow. She clearly wants a second chance, even though I know how this is all going to turn out in the end. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1, yeah, she's not having 3+ hour daily tennis lessons. Big red flag if she doesn't want you to meet the guy as well. Consider hiring a PI if you require proof. Redditor follow-up, this op, hire a PI, you make enough money. She is cheating, you just need the proof. When you find out and file for divorce, not sure of the laws where you are, But I would find out where he lives, pack up her exit, while she is gone, tell her you are going on a road trip, drive her to his place and drop her off with the evidence and the divorce papers, calling her parents, while you throw her exit out of the car. Redditor 2, yeah, you re-wife is enjoying you pilot's salary while boning her tennis coach. Open thy eyes. Redditor 3, op. I actually know someone in your position, or rather, was in your position, even down to where you are from and your occupation and your current location. He flew for Cathay. This is what he ended up doing after mulling it over for about a year. One day he managed to arrange his flight roster so that he was home for a couple of days, but he didn't tell his wife that he was going to be home. He pre-booked a hotel nearby and kept up his normal routine so that she would keep up hers. She was binging a dance coach for what it's worth, so he knew when she would be out of the apartment. He had a storage unit pre-booked, and on the day he hired some removalists and they came and took everything of his, left hers untouched, and took pics of everything, which turned out to be very prescient of him. As the apartment was in his name, he had already arranged for it to be sold and had booked in some viewing times that also happened to coincide with when her dance classes were. He left her a note explaining that he knew what she had been doing, was filing for divorce, and had put the apartment up for sale. O and BTW, here are the open for inspection times. He left his wedding rings, all the wedding pics and shared stuff behind, as well as the number for his solicitor, and then blocked her everywhere and told absolutely everyone they knew what she had been doing and what he was now doing. Some friends walked away, most stayed and helped him out, and the pics helped him out when the local police turned up because his SDBXW reported him for criminal damage. They left when he explained the situation and showed them the pics and gave them the contact number for the removalists. She went from having an absolute dream life on his salary to being unemployed and living with her parents within a month of him making his decision. He never found out if she had been cheating or not, but his friends told him that she ended up trying out dating the dance instructor, but then found out he had been binging several other clients as well. Aside from one brief phone call, he never spoke to her or saw her again, and is now happily divorced and happily single. He said he is never getting married ever again and duck relationships. Confrontation and closure just forestalls the inevitable. Make the decision and move on with your life. Redditor follow-up, yep, I agree, gotta get it done when you know they're not there. My narc ex wouldn't give me my cats when we broke up, so I temporarily left and schemed. I knew he wasn't going to be home the following weekend, so that's the weekend I went back to the apartment to get them. Since he wasn't expecting me and I had only been gone for a week, I learned for the past 3 years he had been living a double life. Had no idea he was cheating on me, let alone with men. He was straight. First, took oodles of pictures. Then I laid all his toys out on the counter with a note, said found your stash, enjoy your new life, took my cats, and left.